Hello, welcome. Welcome. This is the global community for adults who are healing CPTSD. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Athena. We've all been showing up here together about every week for almost 10 years now. And we share what's been working for us in our healing journey from CPTSD, and we also share what hasn't been working for us. So it's a difficult thing, this healing journey, and especially if we are approaching our healing journey from a place of we are in pain and we need to feel better. We need there to be a very specific outcome. We're very outcome focused. Let's hurry up and heal. What I've found and what I'm learning about healing CPTSD is rarely is healing a linear process. And one of the ways that has been helping me with healing my own CPTSD, which is what we share here on this channel, we share from a lived experience perspective, is approaching my healing journey rather than from an outcome focused place. I'm really working toward approaching my healing journey from curiosity and from a place of discovery. I'm in this place. Let's see what I can discover about myself and what needs I have that need to be nurtured. What's showing up for me? I wonder how I can meet those needs. I wonder how I can be more kind and patient and gentle with myself. It's this process of discovery. It's this curiosity that's been helping me, which it's paradoxical, right? It's very counterintuitive, because it seems like if we had a specific goal in mind, which was, okay, I want to feel this way. Let's reverse engineer that and let's get there by following these very specific steps. But what happens when we approach our healing journey in this way, that sort of method really works for me in every area of my life, professionally and in goals and tasks. But when it comes to my relationship that I have with myself and the healing journey that I'm on, healing CPTSD, I end up feeling disappointed in myself and in others. And so what we've been doing over the last almost 10 years is we've been meeting up here weekly and connecting with one another. And again, we talk about what's been working for us and what hasn't been working. So that's a little bit about what has been working and what hasn't been working for me. I would warmly welcome what you would like to share in the chat box of what's been working for you versus what hasn't been working for you. A warm welcome to you, Jeffrey Sherman. And hello, warm welcome to you, John Harvey. So good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. So it's interesting, just this healing journey, and what happens when we are raised in an environment where there is a lack of love, a lack of nurturance, a lack of acceptance, a lack of warmth, a lack of kindness, a lack of our basic needs being met, is we have a freeze-fawn response quite often, which causes us to become whatever it is we need to become so that we will experience less pain and so that we can try to get our needs met. So that's a little bit about where I'm at in my healing journey. What we've been doing over the last couple of years on Mondays here is we are actually going through, we have our meditation or devotional from Morgan Harper Nichols. We have our compassionate healing strategy from Dr. Ariel Schwartz. And we have our loving the self affirmation which is by Lisa A. Romano. So let's see here. A warm welcome to you, Christopher Charles. We're very happy to have you here. I'm not working one-on-one with any clients right now, but you're welcome to join us here on Mondays. And this is we've created a sacred, safe enough space for survivors to come and to connect with one another. So, as long as we are in a place where we're being kind and warm and supportive and respectful, then yes, absolutely, you're more than welcome to be here with us. A warm welcome to you, Adrian. Hello, warm welcome to you, Nadine. All right, so what we've been doing over, like I said, over the past couple of years is we've been doing a meditation or devotional with Morgan Harper Nichols, our healing strategy with Dr. Ariel Schwartz, and our loving the self affirmation with Lisa A. Romano. And to begin our time together, we will do some breath work together. Hello, I'm waving back to you, Jennifer. Hello, Midnight Blue. I'm sending you heart emojis back, and you as well, Nadine, and smiley faces back to each of you as well. So, I'm going to get a sip of water, and we will do some breath work together. And as always, I will describe my setup for you. Let me get a sip of water first, and then we will do that. Okay, so I'm in my workspace. I'm sitting up tall. I have a pillow supporting my posture. I have a strong spine and a soft heart space and a soft belly. And we will have 4 breaths together. Thank you so much for your feedback regarding the 4-7-8 breath. I'm really glad that you all like that. The 4-7-8 breath is really helpful for activating our parasympathetic nervous system. So I'm going to place one hand on my heart space and one hand just above my belly. And I will guide you in your first breath and your 4th breath. You'll be on your own on your 2nd and 3rd breath. And as always, as we do with everything here in this community, please, no need to follow along with the breath work if the breath work is not something you find helpful and supportive. So, for instance, let's say holding your breath is something you do not enjoy and it causes you anxiety. Well, in that case, please just skip it. As always, like they say in the 12-step rooms, right? Take the best, leave the rest. So, alternatively, you could just simply observe your breath. You'll accomplish the exact same thing. The whole point and goal of us doing our breath work together is for us to co-regulate together, to regulate our nervous system. And one of the ways we can do that is through mindfulness. And mindfulness is just a fancy word for being in the present moment. And one of the most helpful and effective ways that we can be in the present moment is by observing the breath. The breath is always a bridge back to the body. So I will guide us in 4 of our 4-7-8 breaths. But again, if you'd prefer to just observe your breath, please feel free to do that. Okay? Let us begin. In 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. 3, 2, 1. Hold. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On your own now. Again. Last time. Breathe in 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 3, 2, 1. Hold. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Beautiful. That's very nice. Oh, hello, Ninja Taco. Good to see you. Hello. Hello, Miss Kira. It's always so good to see you. Hello. Oh, thank you all so much. Hello, this be me. Great to have you. A warm welcome to each and every one of you I didn't get a chance to greet by name. I haven't seen Timothy. I think he was here last week, but I haven't seen him this week. A warm welcome to you, Janet. So glad to have you here with us. Miss Kira, how have you been? Is it a Grey's Anatomy night? Are you having pasta? So good to see you. I was thinking of you the other day. I was having coffee, and I don't know what it was, but someone had a little cat, and we were my girlfriend Ivanka and I were driving by this place. We had coffee, and we drove by this little Italian spot, and someone was bringing out all these bags of to-go food, and there was this little cat, and someone was picking up this little cat and putting it into the car, not like with the food, but like in the opposite side of the car. But I have no idea why that caused me to think of you, Miss Kira, but it did. So great to see you all. I'm so glad you're feeling good at the moment, Jeffrey Sherman. How are you, recovery buddy? I appreciate you. some reason, are you all not able to hear me anymore? If you can hear me, will you let me know? That's so odd. Oh, good. Thank you so much, Ninja Taco. Maybe I had gone quiet, John Harvey, because I was doing breath work. Oh, we missed you too, this be me. We're so glad you chose to join us. Oh, good. I'm so glad, Midnight Blue. Thank you. Thank you, Nadine. Thank you, John Harvey. Thank you all. So, this week, our theme is being proud of ourselves. Okay? Morgan is inviting us to be proud of ourselves. And I gotta say, it's such an amazing working theme that we have going this week, because Morgan starts off talking about being proud of ourselves, and then Dr. Ariel Schwartz, we're starting a 3-week series on healing our self-perception issues. And, sometimes the way we perceive ourselves and our self-concept and our self-esteem and all of that is really affected deeply by CPTSD, particularly if it began in childhood. And so we have a couple of lived experience stories, one from someone named Rebecca and the other from someone named Sebastian. And then our healing strategy is all about validating emotions. So walking away from today's time together feeling valid. So I want to pause and just witness each and every one of you with such deep compassion. I want to acknowledge how much courage it has taken you to be here right now, not just here with us in the community, spending time together every week. Many of you have been here with us for several years. And yes, that's magnificent. But what I mean is, I have such deep compassion for your lived experience and the courage it has taken you to continue pressing on and healing and showing up for yourself. Wherever it is you find yourself today, whatever it is that you are feeling, you are valid. Your feelings are valid. And so many of you have been through so much. And for many of you, I have such deep empathy. Many of us here together, we've been through so many things that are very similar. So I honor you. I see you. I honor your journey. I honor your process. A warm welcome to anyone I didn't get a chance to say hello to. Hello to you, Shell. Welcome, welcome. We're so glad you're here. So, again, our theme being proud of ourselves. Morgan says, wherever it is in your life that you are learning to let go, I hope you can be proud of yourself. I hope you can be proud of how you've learned to breathe deep and trust, even though it hasn't been easy. There was a time in your life when it felt safer to hold on as tight as you could, because in a world of constant change, you just wanted something you knew you could count on. You just wanted a little bit of control and assurance that things would work out. But now you've learned that you're allowed to do two things at once. You're allowed to grieve what has changed and pace yourself as you head into a new day. Since you've been learning to let go, you have been making room in your life to breathe, think, and dream. You don't know exactly what's next, but you do know you are still here. You do know that the sun is still rising, and every day beckons you ever so gently to not give up just yet. There have been days that were harder than others, weeks that seemed to drag on forever. And there have also been entire years of life you've made it through, and you can't even remember everything that happened. But you do know this: you have been learning how to exhale year after year. And every small moment of letting go is a part of the story you tell. Of course, there's still a lot to learn, and this is also true. You have already learned a lot, much more than you tend to give yourself credit for. So here's to letting go one day at a time. Here's to trusting this is a way of living you can pace yourself through. I love Morgan. I know I say that every week. But I do. She's so gentle and so wise. So we're going to move on now to our healing strategy, our compassionate healing strategy with Dr. Ariel Schwartz. So again, we're starting a 3-week series on healing our self-perception issues. And what we're going to be talking about in the next 3 weeks is how CPTSD can affect our self-perception and our self-worth. And many of us have talked over the past several weeks, several months actually, about how experiences of abuse or neglect or chaos during childhood can lead to self-blame and deep feelings of shame, where we believe that we are at fault, or we are damaged, or we are unworthy, or we have failed some way, or that we are a failure. So in order to heal, then it's important for us to sit with and glance at our self-perception issues. And what we're going to do is we're going to sit with them and glance at all kinds of different aspects of our self-perception issues, mentally, emotionally, and physically. How do our self-perception issues affect us mentally, emotionally, and physically? And with practice, we can reclaim a positive sense of our self-worth. So again, we're going to start with a story from someone named Sebastian, and then Dr. Ariel is going to share about Sebastian and different ways that Sebastian was able to work toward healing and feeling better. Okay, so again, the next 3 weeks are all about self-perception and self-worth and self-concept. So Sebastian says, sure, my dad abused me, but I was such a difficult kid. I deserved everything that happened to me. So Dr. Ariel says, Sebastian worked hard in the construction business to support his family. He was a responsible husband and father, but when he would get triggered, he would attack himself verbally. And these self-attacks were especially fierce when he felt he had made a mistake. And that is when he would say, I'm such a loser. I can't get anything right. What is wrong with me? And then sometimes Sebastian would turn these critical statements toward his wife or his daughter. And this made him feel even worse about himself. And that is when he would call himself a monster. So it was Sebastian's wife who encouraged him to come to therapy. She knew that he had not had an easy childhood, and she felt sad to see him be so hard on himself. So in therapy, we explored Sebastian's history. He described himself as a tough kid, and he had a hard time in school, and he was never a good student. And he spoke about how his father would hit him when he misbehaved or he got bad grades. And this started happening when Sebastian was pretty young. And by the time he was a teenager, he had gotten involved with the, quote, wrong crowd, and then started drinking and getting into fights. So at first, Sebastian was convinced that his father had done nothing wrong. He said that he deserved to be hit because he was a difficult kid. However, we began to explore this harsh inner critic, and what we discovered was that he was actually carrying an immense amount of shame. Not only had his father treated him harshly, but also his mother had never stepped in to protect him. And as a result, Sebastian assumed that he must have deserved it. His self-critical thoughts were his way of turning the anger he felt towards his parents inward on himself. So once he recognized this pattern, Sebastian was able to talk about his feelings. He recognized that he had defended himself against vulnerable emotions because it had not been safe to reveal that he had felt hurt when he was a child. Now I realize that it was never my fault, Sebastian shared. And in time, he became more self-accepting, tolerant of his mistakes, and emotionally available to his wife and daughter. So, as we can see in Sebastian's story, his history of childhood trauma and abuse led him to struggle with self-perception. And this is so common, right? I think each of us has our own version of this, and it develops a sense of self that is based on an inaccurate belief that we are damaged, inferior, worthless, or unlovable, or that it's all our fault. And these beliefs come with feelings of shame and guilt. So it's common to feel as though you did not belong or that you're very different from other people. Difficulties with self-perception can also lead us to mistakenly believe that other people are rejecting us or criticizing us. Challenges in self-perception are common in abusive households. Children sometimes believe that the abuse or the neglect is all their fault because it can be too frightening for them to face the fact that they have a threatening parent or caregiver. So get this, a child is completely dependent upon his or her caregivers. The child's very survival requires that they make a dangerous environment tolerable, even if it's just in fantasy. For instance, a child might create an idealized mommy or daddy to avoid facing the reality of abuse, and they may carry the burden of being the quote bad child in order to avoid the terrifying reality that there is a quote bad parent. So feelings of shame and unworthiness can also arise as a result of an accumulation of small and subtle rejections that occur on a daily basis. For example, you might have felt rejected when you excitedly reached out for connection to one of your parents, who then responded with disinterest. Or maybe you came home from school with a special piece of artwork made for mommy, but then later you discovered that your creation had been thrown in the trash. So when our needs for connection are repeatedly denied, it is common to feel angry and sad. And in a healthy relationship, these emotions, these big emotions, they're recognized and received as part of the repair process. However, as we talked about a few weeks ago when we talked about the rupture and repair process, when there is childhood trauma, there's abuse, neglect, or chaos in the home, there's often no acknowledgement or repair of these painful moments of disconnection. And these unresolved experiences of betrayal tend to accumulate and influence our sense of self. It can be so difficult to tolerate the discomfort of shame and anger and hurt that often accompanies childhood trauma. An adult survivor may struggle with perfectionism, unrelenting self-criticism, and even addiction. For example, we might react with anger toward others or become hypercritical of ourselves in order to avoid feeling sad. Ultimately, it is important to make space for our vulnerable feelings, either in therapy or by using the healing strategies that we talk about here on Monday nights. And in doing so, we can learn to be with our emotions without the need to run away, attack ourselves, or attack others. Self-perception issues also present in the body. For example, feelings of worthlessness can shape how we carry ourselves through the world. It can affect our posture, our facial expressions, or our readiness to make eye contact with others. Chronic pain and illness are also common for people with CPTSD. You might feel as though your physical symptoms mean that you are damaged or broken. That healing involves recognizing that your feelings of shame or unworthiness are directly connected to your undeniably legitimate human needs for connection. Since shame is an interpersonal wound, remember, healing shame often needs to occur within relationship. Initially, this might happen in therapy or in a group like this, but eventually, it is important to feel that you are being treated fairly and respectfully in your other relationships. And you can learn that even though you've been rejected by some people, you can still seek out others who can meet your needs for connection. You can find people who are capable of meeting you with enthusiasm, even if you weren't celebrated as a child. So, as I mentioned earlier, we are going to discover healing strategies to work with our self-perception issues mentally, emotionally, and physically. So we're going to look closely at shame and self-doubt through Rebecca's story here in just a moment, and then we're going to explore a DBT-based validation strategy. And DBT stands for dialectical behavior therapy. So Rebecca says, every time I try to tell my girlfriend how I feel, she puts me down or makes me feel like I'm wrong. The problem is that I start believing her. It's like I keep waiting for someone else to affirm my experience. I have such a hard time validating my own feelings. So Dr. Ariel says, Rebecca came to therapy because she was having a hard time in her relationship. She felt insecure and was constantly questioning herself about what she was doing wrong. And as we explored her experience, she shared that she often made plans with friends and then canceled at the last minute. When she tried to speak with her girlfriend about her feelings, she would react defensively and turn the conversation around to blame Rebecca for any problems they were having. We started to explore her childhood history, and I learned that Rebecca had grown up with a mother who was jealous and critical of her. She realized that her current relationship that she was in was similar to the experiences she had as a child. So therapy helped Rebecca imagine how it might feel for her experiences and emotions to be validated. She learned to validate her own emotions outside of therapy. And as she felt stronger, she was no longer willing to tolerate how her girlfriend treated her. Initially, she set clear boundaries about how she wanted to be treated. However, she soon realized that her partner was not capable of meeting her needs. So she ended the relationship. She gained clarity of her own self-worth, and she felt ready to find a partner who was capable of giving her the love she deserved. I love that. I love that the human brain is so magnificent that we are able to somehow learn how to validate our own emotions. Like, we really do have everything we need to create pockets of safety and connectedness and good enoughness, right? We have everything we need. So Dr. Ariel is guiding us in this particular healing strategy called validating emotions. And I'll go ahead and I'll share this now, and then we will end our time together with our loving the self affirmation. So we receive validation when someone listens to us without judgment. That person is offering unconditional acceptance, which allows us to acknowledge the importance of our thoughts and feelings. This DBT inspired healing strategy focuses on helping us to validate our own emotions by offering unconditional acceptance of our own experience. So let us explore the following suggestions during times of intense or distressing emotions and experiences. This practice can be especially helpful during times when we feel confused or unclear about our response to a person or situation. And remember, if you find self-validation challenging, it is okay to seek support from someone you trust. So, I'm going to get a sip of water and then we will begin. How are you all doing? Hello, Emily. Welcome back. We're so glad to see you. And hello to everyone else I might not have greeted by name. I think I got a chance to say hi to everybody. Okay, so here we go. Let us begin our healing strategy together. See if you can identify a difficult emotion that you are feeling. Is it sadness, anger, fear, disappointment, confusion, shame? Next, notice any judgmental or invalidating thoughts you are having, such as, oh, I'm being too sensitive, or I should just get over it, or my feelings are stupid. Next, make an agreement with yourself to suspend or stop any invalidating thoughts. Try saying to yourself the word stop, and then follow it up by saying, I deserve to treat myself with kindness and respect. Next, try to find the source of the difficult emotion by asking yourself, when did I first start feeling this way? Or what circumstances contributed to my feelings? Next, explore validating statements such as, my feeling makes sense because, or how I feel is important because. If it is difficult to validate your experience, ask yourself, how would someone else feel in my situation? explore how you would offer compassion to that person. Ask yourself, what do I want? What do I need? And then tell yourself, if it is important to me, then it is important. If it is important to me, then it is important. Let us pause and notice what happens as we acknowledge and accept our current experience and emotional response. How do you feel in the body? So next week we have a story from someone named Mariah. And then our healing strategy is from somatic psychology, so it's body-based. And I'm so excited for this somatic release practice that we're going to do next week. And all of this is part of our 3-week series that we're doing on healing self-perception issues. It's all about our self-perception, healing the way we perceive ourselves. I'm so glad, Midnight Blue. Ooh, yes, John Harvey. All I see is ice cream. I'm going to say yes. Yes, yes, yes. So let's end our time together with our loving the self affirmation. Here we go. I know that in the past, I have made relationships with others more important than my relationship with my own self. So today, I will remember to make me my priority. I will mother and nurture my own self today with loving, positive self-talk. I am good. I am enough. I am capable, courageous, and divine. Today, I love and accept myself unconditionally. And remember, like I mention usually, hopefully I mention it every week, if not almost, but if the affirmations don't quite land for you, like if they don't feel true, so if you're not able to sit with, I am good, I am enough, I am capable, I love and accept myself unconditionally, we can always switch the words around so that they feel more true for us. You can try something like this. This is what I do. I am open to the idea of feeling like I am good and enough and capable and courageous and divine. I am open to loving and accepting myself unconditionally. So grateful, so very grateful. Thank you all so much for being here. It is always so lovely to be with you. I'll see you right back here next Monday and every Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific. Or I'm sorry, 7 p.m. What is it? Eastern? 7 p.m. Eastern. And otherwise, I'll see you over in the community. We have 2 of these calls every day. And we also have our kind of like a chat box. It's off of social media. It's on an app called Circle. And the link for that is in the description section. It's in the pinned comment, and it is in the chat box. So I look forward to seeing you, whether it's right here next Monday or over in our community. Please be extra kind and extra patient and extra gentle with yourself, because you're worth it, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye, everybody.